We're live.
We're live.
Possibly.
Hopefully.
I don't think we have anybody watching, so we can tell if we're actually
Live.
sound or not. But this will be available later, so we'll go ahead and continue filming and then assume that people will be able to hear us. Alright, so we do a couple things today. We're in the car. We are heading into, I got another telephone on, so we got sound.
I am trying to turn the volume down. So that's the whole point. I want to make sure I got it out.
Alright, so we are heading into Washington, D.C. We're going to a concert. We're going to go see Trans-Siberian Orchestra. With this thing in the back seat. Are we connected again? Hopefully we're reconnected. We've never done this in the car before. I have no idea what's going on, what we're doing. We should have good cell phone service here, though. So we want to do a couple of things. There was a couple of challenges or a couple of collaborations that were going around on YouTube, and we got hit on two of them last week. One of them was 5 Reasons Why You Homestead, and the other one was Love for Love. And so we wanted to come on today and respond to those and go ahead and do that. So these are the channels.
Serving from my home. Hokchi Gardens and Homestead. Meecor Homesteaders.
Meecor
Acres. Learning Curve Acres. And Bromark Farms.
So once I get home tonight, I'll put those links to them directly into the description. But you can search them out if you want. So we're mentioning them for both of these, for the Love for Love and for the 5 Reasons Why You Homestead. Unless I missed it, none of them have done that video for 5 Reasons Why You Homestead. So we'll issue a challenge to them, and I'll send them a message tonight and let them know they've been challenged. So 5 Reasons Why We Homestead. What are they?
For me personally, I like knowing where my food's coming from. And I'm growing what I like, and we're able to, like everyone else, use what we grow. So we have rabbits. So it'd be nice to have some meat in the freezer when we want it. And just knowing that they're not filled with all of the stuff, and it's healthier for my family.
And I've wanted to keep bees for a long time. My ex was terrified of bees and wouldn't allow me to have bees on the property. I wanted to make my own honey to do mead. So the first thing we did when we got to this new property, I guess first thing we did was we started a garden. We didn't get very far, but we did some experimentation this year. We'll go full bore next year. Then I put in the beehives. That was the next one. Haven't pulled any honey off of any of them yet. Hopefully just going to try to get them through the winter. And I can't read anybody's messages, but Tia's got her phone out. So if you have questions, feel free.
Kilda Gardner says, morning, guys.
Morning, Robert.
And the Irish Train guy says hello.
Hey. Irish Train guy and Kilda Gardner. Kilda Gardner is in Charlottesville.
Oh, okay. I think you've mentioned him before. So,
yep.
Hey, you're so close.
And I think he's a botanist, or he's got something to do. He knows agriculture. But so I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, bees. So that was a big one for me, was just to get bees to be able to make mead. When I was growing up, my maternal grandfather lived in Roanoke, Virginia, or Salem, Virginia, just outside of Roanoke. And he had a large cattle farm. I used to spend about a month every summer down there, and a couple, maybe 2 weeks, other times during the year. My parents used to put me on a Greyhound bus and send me down there. And I really loved it. My cousin would come up from Atlanta, and we would spend a month down there together, running around, playing on the farm. Really had a good time. We were too young to really learn anything, but I just remember everything that my grandfather did. He obviously never called himself a homesteader, but did a cattle farm, had the horses, ducks, geese, chickens,
Yeah, I got
skunks. He had all kinds of animals on that thing. He did beehives, never had beekeeping equipment other than hives. He'd go out smoking a cigarette, and he'd bend down and blow it into the entrance of the hive and open them up and mess with the bees. And best of my knowledge, he never got stung. I never saw him get stung doing that. But he had a nice old farmhouse. It was built in the 1800s. Cellar, did his own wine, did his own mead. Had a spring house.
Robert's a horticulturist.
Horticulturist, okay. Yeah, I knew he was something. What did I say, botanist?
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what the difference is. So horticulturist is more about the actual growing of plants, and a botanist is more about the scientific micro study of them, maybe. Sitting in a laboratory and looking at stuff through a microscope, I guess. I don't know. So we're definitely not horticulturists. We had a hell of a time growing anything this year in our garden.
Well, we got a couple things. It wasn't like a lot.
We had some things grow. I got like, I don't know, 50 or 60 squash flowers, but only 2 of them ever turned into a squash.
I think there's 3.
I think I need to go out and take a paintbrush and hand pollinate them this year.
Something.
So let's see. We got.
Well, what we didn't do is I should have taken those flowers off and fried and coated them in batter and fried them. So.
Okay.
It's a shame. They're actually quite good. I've had them before.
Never had a deep fried flower.
They're edible. So yeah.
I'll take your word for it. What else do we homestead? One of the reasons that we're doing this is basically just to instill some knowledge and basic skills on the thing in the back seat, which is completely ignoring us and watching her cell phone back there.
She's watching the live feed.
Oh, you're watching us?
Oh.
You're in here. How can you be watching us?
She's looking at the comments and stuff too. She's helping us. Merry Christmas from Long Island. I told her she can take her seatbelt off.
Oh. You can move it under your armpit, as long as your lap belt's still on.
But she can't take it off because that was really bad.
Yeah, lap belt's gonna stay on.
Oh.
So one of the reasons that we're doing this is basically to teach her where things come from, the responsibilities for taking care of the animals, but at the same time the complete circle of life and where food comes from.
Utilizing all parts.
It's amazing how many kids think meat just comes from the grocery store. They don't understand it comes from a farm. I don't know how you can get through grade school and not know that, but it seems to be a thing these days. So that's another reason. So what we got? That's 4 reasons. One was nostalgia for me from the days of my grandfather's farm, the honey, knowing where our food comes from. Teaching Megan.
Teaching Megan is huge.
Do we have a 5th reason? I guess a 5th reason is because we can.
Yeah.
I believe in as much self-sufficiency as possible. I believe in, being able to do what I want to do on my piece of property, which I can't do 100%. We still have all kinds of ordinance that we have to follow where we are. We're not completely out in the country. We're pretty far out in the country, but there's still neighbors. We can see other houses from our lot. We are technically in a neighborhood. And we still have to follow rules. We're only on 1.12 acres, so there's a lot of limitations on what we can do anyway, just because of the size of the property that we have. I would love to have pigs. We don't have space for that.
I'd love to have goats.
I'd like to have a milk cow or milk goat, but that's not an option for us either. We just don't have the space for it, unfortunately. Got some sunlight coming in there. We may start doing quail in the spring. They seem to be this year's new chicken. All the channels that I watch, everybody seems to be starting to do quail. And if you haven't seen it, go over to Pratt Family Homestead and watch his video on making a quail omelet. He makes an omelet with a single quail egg. It's pretty hilarious. But we're talking about possibly doing quail come spring. We want to get the rabbits into full bore. I've got 7 rabbits in the breeding program, but we haven't actually successfully bred any of them yet. I think I'm probably going to try again around the end of January, which would put them throwing kits at the end of February, beginning of March, so it's not going to be too cold out there for the kids. Yeah. So I know of a lot of other homesteaders that are in the general area, which is an hour to an hour and a half outside of our home. We are in Central Virginia. Kilted Gardner is on this stream, or was on this stream earlier. He's in Charlottesville. It's about 45 minutes from us. There's several other channels. Some of them you guys may watch. I think Stony Ridge is technically in North Carolina, but he's just over the border from us. Kaylee at the house on Quail Hollow is about an hour north of us. And I know a couple others. I can't think of them because I'm driving.
I have like a new friend or mutual friend that's in Charlottesville as well. They do some homesteading. They've got goats and chickens, and they have a farm and whatnot. I don't know if they have.
Yeah, she's got an actual farm. I mean, they don't run it as a farm, but it is a large piece of property, and they're off by themselves as a farm.
Yeah.
So our neighborhood is a true neighborhood in that there are driveways and mailboxes, every 50 yards. But we're heavily treed. In the winter, you can see what we're doing, but in the spring and summer, you'd have no idea that we have anything on our property. You can't see the house from the road. You can't see any of the pins or neighbors. We can't see neighbors when the leaves are in. But I don't know of anyone else immediately in our area that's doing any homesteading. We did find online a couple that have a farm that's about 3 miles from us, and they've invited us over the next time that they do slaughtering. They do chickens, rabbits, cows, and pigs. So we're going to be able to go over there and learn from them firsthand. I've only done squirrels before in my personal experience, hands-on, and that was 30 some odd years ago.
I haven't done anything.
And so I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and they've been helpful, but I'd really like to be there, do it hands-on, be able to ask questions, and really get a better idea of what I'm doing before it comes time to slaughter our own. So they're close by, but again, they're a farm. They probably live basically like the rest of us are trying to live, but it's a family farm that's been passed down for them, so it's always been their lifestyle. I don't know if they'd consider themselves homesteaders, but I'm sure they basically do everything that the rest of us are trying to accomplish. They probably have an easier time of it.
We have an HOA, but they don't have strict rules. Kilted Gardner was saying that they live in a neighborhood too. They have an acre, no HOA, and no rules. If someone here has a cow in the backyard, that would be fabulous.
Yeah, so I've seen, he did a video where he was shoveling snow in his driveway. I could tell he was in a neighborhood. We have an HOA. My last house did not have an HOA, and I specifically bought it for that reason. The house that we're in now, we just bought in March, and we looked at, 8 or 10 houses, and they were all horrible and falling apart and not worth the money that people were asking for them.
Some of them had better land options, but it wasn't.
The houses were just horrible, falling apart around their ears. So we ended up buying this house. It did have an HOA, which I wasn't a fan of, but I got a copy of their covenants before we moved in, and the covenants literally have 3 rules, and all 3 of those rules were directly copied off of our county website, the county ordinance website, and they are: you can't have grass over 18 inches high. So we're not going to have somebody out measuring and saying at 3.3 inches we've got to get out and cut our grass or we're going to be fined.
You
can't have a car with no engine in your driveway for more than a month. And if you have dogs, they have to be fenced in or on a leash. So I figure with those 3 rules and nothing else, I could live with it. Basically, our HOA, we pay $100 a year. We have 2 boat ramps and small marinas that are part of the neighborhood, and that's what that money covers. There is no common ground. They don't have anybody coming to cut grass. Snow plowing's done by the county. There's no trash service where we live. You have to take everything to a dump site yourself. So really, we can do whatever we want. If I wanted to put a cow in my yard, I could certainly do so. At least from the point of view of the neighborhood. I'm not sure what the county rules are on that.
For a lot of so many chickens.
Yeah, but I don't have the space for it personally. So the only rules I'm aware of are we're only allowed to have 6 chickens, and you can't have a rooster unless you have at least 5 acres.
Right.
And I assume that's a noise ordinance issue there, which makes sense, I guess. But other than that, I'm not aware of any limitations that we have on keeping livestock. I've looked online, haven't found anything. I'm sure if a neighbor complained that somebody that's an official with the state or county could find some obscure law to come and hassle us about.
But no one's bothered us. Like, we haven't heard anything from our neighbors.
I've only talked to one of our neighbors, the guy who lives immediately next door. He was out trimming some limbs one day, and I had a conversation with him for about 10 minutes. And he was like, "You guys got chickens? I think I hear chickens." And I'm like, "Yeah, we got a couple chickens running around." He's like, "Oh, I had some of those when I was a kid." So he was fine. He didn't
I figured this spring I would go over and introduce ourselves. We've been there a year, and come over with some eggs because we have an abundance some days and some weeks. I figured that's what I'll do. They really and our girls really haven't stopped laying. They're still laying. And
we're getting about 2 eggs a day out of 7 chickens.
Maybe 3 sometimes.
Trooper 66, thanks for coming by. Chipper. Sorry. I'm not reading, I'm listening.
Thank you. Deborah E. says, my hubby bought our place over 30 years ago for the shop. He never grew anything until he met me 8 years ago. What are you guys growing now, Deborah?
Yeah, we're hoping to grow enough that we can start canning a good bit of stuff coming up here next year. We obviously didn't do that this year. We didn't have enough in the ground. We ate a couple of things that came out of the garden, but it wasn't much. I want to do a couple things this year. I want to start, I got another section of the yard I'm going to do potatoes in. There's a system of growing potatoes where you basically lay down like an 8 to 10 inch layer of straw or hay and allow it to start to decompose there. Throw your seed potatoes underneath of it and let them grow there. You don't actually dig into the ground or plant them. I don't know how that's going to work out. I've seen a couple of people doing it on YouTube, and it looks like a really good option. But we'll see what we end up with. I don't know.
She's got a greenhouse and chickens.
And we
have a small greenhouse.
Yeah, it's a very small greenhouse. It's 3 feet by 5 feet maybe. But it's got a lot of shelves up the walls, so we'll be able to start a decent amount of seeds in there this year. We didn't have it last year, and since we moved in March, I think it was May before we put anything in the ground. It might have been close to June, so we were pretty late.
Really late for everything.
We're always late for everything, though. We were late putting the garlic in the ground this fall, too. But that rooted really nicely, if you've seen the garlic video that we had. And the reason I know that is because one of the chickens went over there and dug up one of the cloves. But it had a really nice root system on it after he dug it up. So I put it back in the ground. Hopefully it'll still grow.
So right now, Deborah says they're working on fences, keep the deer out for the raised beds. What is the name of our bed?
We got lucky. So we had, when we first put the garden in, we didn't do anything. We just planted the garden in the yard, and we had a deer come in and completely destroy the strawberry bed, ate all of the squash and cucumbers, half of every squash and cucumber. He left the other half on the ground. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do for them. I hadn't really decided, but I had a electric netting fence for the chickens that was in the shed I hadn't hooked up yet. I bought a used one off of Facebook Marketplace. It's not a Premier one. It's a Ken Cove. I think they're manufactured in Pennsylvania. But these people had it probably an hour and a half from where we live, but they happened to be on my way to work, so I wasn't out of my way to get it. They had their chickens out free ranging, and every one of their chickens got taken by a hawk, or multiple hawks, I'm not sure. And so they gave up and sold the fence off. So it had only been used for about a month at the time that I purchased it.
And it's been good for us, and we still have all of our chickens. Nothing's happened, thankfully. But something started chewing through part of the fence, one section, in the last couple weeks.
One section where it wasn't electrified. And so the electric runs. The electric runs parallel, and they chewed through the pieces that were perpendicular because they're not electrified. At least that's what it looks like. I mean, for all I can't tell. It doesn't necessarily look like it's been chewed, but it's certainly been broken through. I don't know if it was a limb or something that fell on it. I'm really not sure.
Right.
But nothing's bothered the chicken. The coop's fine. But I guess the point I started with this fence was this 4-foot tall electric fence has kept the deer out of the garden ever since. They haven't come back. They haven't messed with anything. I have game cameras out in the yard just to keep an eye on what's going on. And the deer have never been back since we put the fence up. And they're more than capable of jumping over it if they want to. But so far we've been lucky. This year when we finish building our raised beds, we're going to put in a second fence inside so that we can keep the chickens out of the garden beds. And so that would be 2 fences that the deer would have to jump. So hopefully they'll leave us alone. We'll see. The one I'm more worried about is bear. I know that there was a bear spotted about 6 miles from our house back in, I want to say it was August. And so I'm a little bit worried about the beehives. I do have an electric fence to put up around the apiary so that we can keep the bear out. I haven't seen any bear actually on our property yet.
I haven't seen any bear in the state of Virginia since I moved here. I mean, I've never seen a bear anywhere I've lived, but people see them here all the time. Have you seen a bear? Where do you see bear? This is here, right? It was in Montana? No.
She saw a bear here. It was in Shenandoah somewhere.
When you guys were hiking with your mom.
Garden there, it's at the Capitol One Arena.
Okay. So,
Oh yeah, we're seeing Trans-Siberian Orchestra in D.C.
what were you going to say? Oh, I thought it was working.
So yeah, Megan went hiking. She saw a bear on the trail, scared the hell out of her.
I did not. I was just ready to spread him and run.
I've seen a couple of bear when I was out hiking in the valley. Never seen any near our house, but like I said, there has been one spotted within 6 miles of our house. And I think they range in like a 20-mile radius or so from wherever it is that they den. So, it's certainly a possibility. There's people further north of us in a more populated county that I saw on Facebook who had bears attack his beehives. Left a complete mess, took everything. All the hives were completely dead and destroyed and flattened. There was absolutely nothing left. So it's a concern. It's not an immediate concern. Like I said, I haven't seen any show up on the game cams. But
Ragged wool on the trash can. The stuff looks like Ireland pretty much got bears.
yeah, I mean they're around. They like to go for the easy stuff. So trash cans really attract them.
So we just said that one ragged wool on our trash can.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, bobcat in the backyard, yeah. Where I'm from in Oregon, we've got cougar. And we have, and that's what I heard about a lot more growing up, and then my family still deals with this, with the cougar and the rattlesnake.
Last year, somebody got on film footage of a cougar in Virginia. So you don't know where they're going to be.
And they climb trees, so they're hanging out waiting.
Yeah, we got coyotes. We got seen one skunk on my property. They haven't messed with the chickens. I've not seen a raccoon here. I mean, there's raccoons all over the state. I've seen plenty of them dead on the road, but haven't seen them in our immediate property yet. So fingers crossed on that. The raccoons will get into chickens faster than anything.
Right, raccoons, and then I've seen fox, but not on our property.
Yeah, so we're in pretty good shape there. Predators aren't bad.
We do have hawks, which again they've not messed with our chickens, and we're fortunate for that. So.
Yeah, Does anybody keep geese with their chickens? I'm thinking about that. I've seen some people on YouTube that they put one goose in, and if you put two geese, the geese pay attention to each other supposedly. But if you put one goose in, they will keep an eye out on all the chickens. And apparently they're pretty nasty and fight stuff off if it shows up to attack the flock. But
Kildergartner, is it Kildergartner? He says he's got lots of deer here and need a crossbow to take them out quietly.
Well,
Virginia Gibson says geese are very protective of the flock.
I've got a bow. I can come down and we can take out a couple of your deer. I don't have a crossbow, but I do have a compound bow. We can fix that problem.
And Megan's got a compound bow.
Megan's got a compound bow of her own. So yeah, we can come down there and take care of that problem for you. Your neighbors never have to know.
Nice.
We have castle doctrine in Virginia. Can we claim standing our ground? I think we can.
I don't know.
The deer tried to charge me. I feared for my life.
Yeah. Let's go to Deborah said she's got hawks that try to eat her for her little dog. We have small dogs too, though. We've got 3 Cavaliers, and we have the big dog. And we have 3 Cavaliers this weekend, but we technically have 2, and they're all between, I'd say, 15 and 25 pounds. And
Hawk could easily make off with them if it wanted to.
And they haven't, thankfully, because I'd be a mess. So yeah, we're good with the chickens, and we're good with the dogs so far.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers are crossed. I'm very excited. Very, very hopeful that we stay good.
I have no idea what you do. I mean, we let the chickens free range out there. We've got a large spot cordoned off for them. They can fly over the electric fence too.
And they do. They come back.
They do on occasion, but not very often, and they come back.
So I have a question for people who have chickens and have chickens for a long time. So a couple weeks ago, my birthday weekend, we picked up 2 balsamers, and we added them to our flock. And mind you, it wasn't until after we had them in the car and we're on our way home that Andy mentioned to me that a guy had kept them in a cage off and on, so they didn't know how to roost.
Kept them in a cage constantly. They'd never been out of a cage.
Which I find, had I known that, I would have probably not got them because I would have paid more attention to them. But like every day, I think for the first week and a half, almost 2 weeks that we had them, we would go out there every day and find them, because they would be like laying under our gardening table or under the rabbit hutches. So we go find them, pick them up, put them in the coop, put them up on the roosting bars. So they would be good. I think one night we found one of them outside on the back side of the coop, roosting on the gravity fed hose for the waterer, which was cute. But once it snowed, like it was December 9th or 10th, we got some snow here. They basically took off. We don't know where they are. We didn't see any signs of like foul play or anything. Like it doesn't look like a predator got them. We figure that they flew over the fence and they're gone. I don't think they're gonna come back. I look for them every day. But it makes me sad because they were such sweet birds. We did
something.
They're just not there. They're gone.
They ran away or they got eaten by something. But there were no signs of. There was no blood. There were no feathers. There were, no signs of any kind of scuffle anywhere. The one place that we did have those couple of broken pieces of room.
And we noticed that before they were gone.
Yeah. So there, but you think they'd leave some feathers or something, if not part of a carcass, depending on what got them. Possible that an owl took them. If they were dumb enough to roost outside of the chicken coop, then that's certainly a possibility. Not really sure. I haven't heard any owls, but I would have to imagine that we have them. Megan, well then why are we here? Should have told me that.
Yeah.
So we stopped here to pick up. This is Megan's mother's house, and we were stopping here to pick up a Metro card so we could take the subway into D.C. And she's not home, and Megan doesn't know where they are. So we're back off to the city, and we'll just buy her a new one. You're expensive, kid. It's $5.
Kildergartner wants to know if we're going to do the bacon trail with family members and film it.
Oh, the trial.
Oh, the trial.
Yes and no. So we still got bacon left, and we will film that. We did bacon on Saturday, Saturday. Yesterday we did bacon, and
shared that with Andy's parents.
Yep, but we didn't film it, and
It was good.
everybody liked it. The consensus was that the plain cure was better than the molasses cure. That was all three of us and both of my parents all thought the plain was better. But we will actually cook some up and do a video on that. Megan and I might do it tomorrow. Tia has to go to work tomorrow for a couple of hours. I'm off, and we may film that video and possibly put that up tomorrow night. We also have to film another video called Content Creators. If any of you guys don't know about them, you can check them out. I don't know what the website is. Kilted Gardener might know and be able to put in a link. Kilted Gardener,
Yeah, he must.
he's got a blue wrench?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have it, you can throw it in there. If not, we're going to, content creators.
Okay, yeah. So I guess earlier he said I put your link to the content creators, so maybe we put some folks over there, so.
Okay, perfect. So content creators, we did a Secret Santa gift exchange. I got a box at the house I haven't opened yet. We're going to open and film a video on that tomorrow. And all of those videos will go live at 5 p.m. tomorrow night. So you'll be able to see it on my channel. It'll have links to all the other channels and to content creators and everything else as well. Great group of guys. Most of you probably know at least some of them from watching their YouTube channels. Kilted Better Bob, Andrew the Bearded Giant, Bearded Woodworker, Hope This Works, our homestead, Dambois Homestead, they're Canadian, a couple others, I'm not thinking of everybody right now, but it's a great group of people. You should go check them out for sure.
He's supposed to be filling, that's good. So he also said park and ride to Vienna is the best way to get to DC.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Huntington, which is the end of the Yellow Line in Virginia, because the Yellow Line will take us straight into Chinatown, which is the stop that we want for walking to the Verizon Center. I don't think it's Verizon Center anymore. I think it's Capital One.
Capital One.
What's the problem? Things used to have names and they last for 50 years, and now it's all marketing, and the name changes every other year when the contract is up. Yeah, it's hard to tell where we're going, but so yeah, we're gonna take the Yellow Line in from Huntington. So yeah, content creators, we'll have that video up tomorrow night, and I'll see if we can't film a bacon one and put that up tomorrow night as well. I think I've got three or four other videos that we filmed a couple of weeks ago that we haven't uploaded yet. I didn't want to dump 10 videos in the same week, so I've kind of been spacing them out, but
you're making videos.
We'll get some of those up soon. Yeah, we filmed a lot of videos 2 weekends ago when Megan was here. Yeah, and then she got sick, so we didn't finish one of them, so we got to finish that tomorrow too. We got a lot to do. Let's see, does that cover everything else? What else did we do this week?
I don't know.
You made and mailed off hats.
It was, I made a bunch of hats.
So there's a channel that she really likes called Heritage Ways. At some point they were in Virginia. Now they are on the road in a RV with their 3 youngest kids. And so she made 5 hats and sent that to them as Christmas presents.
Right. I didn't know. So I think she said I spoke to her a little bit yesterday, and she said they were driving down the road going to Mr. Patient's mom's house, and they opened the packages, and they're all really like surprised, and she was super excited, and then she was kind of sad that they didn't wait to do a video. So I think they're going to take some pictures and post on their page, and then I think the littles tend to do like a show and tell type thing on Sunday, so they might include it in that. I don't know, but I love to crochet and I love to make things for people, whether they know they're getting something or not. I like to be able to give things to people. So they were all kind of in need of new hats and whatnot. So and I didn't know that. I just make hats. So I like to give things away. So yeah. So they got those. And Mr. Patient, I guess, had just lost his hat when they went to view President Bush's casket in D.C. a couple weeks ago, and then so he got a new one. So hopefully, I haven't got to see that on those yet, though, because I mean I don't know the sizes. I think I did a pretty good job. So but yeah, that's what I do. So
Yeah, about sums up everything we did this week, doesn't it? I don't know what's
I don't know. Other than that, I work.
I remember everything I did.
It's a blur. I work a lot.
Yeah. I was working overtime getting stuff ready to be able to be off for a couple of days this coming week. So we're off Monday and Tuesday, and that leaves a lot of work to be done before we go. Not to mention that half of the office was out on leave for the last 2 weeks of the month anyway. Yeah, you work a federal job, and the place is empty in the month of December, generally speaking. Yeah. So. Yeah, if anybody's got questions, more than happy to answer them, but I think that covers all of the content that we were specifically planning on mentioning.
Did you want to mention who started the Love for Love?
Yes, I got that there.
And you got, yeah, okay.
So we were mentioned in the Love for Love.
Little Jordan Farm.
Little Jordan Farm. She's got a small channel. She's great. At the end of that Love for Love video, she has about, I don't know, I think she counted 50-something wild turkeys standing in her front yard. So we need to go over there and quietly dispatch a couple of those too. I'll take Kilted Gardner with me.
That'd be fabulous.
And then we were challenged by Smith Family Ranch for the 5 reasons why we homestead. So again, we're going to mention in a Love for Love and challenge to do the 5 reasons you homestead, all of the following channels: Serving from My Home, who's also on content creator site, Hokchi Gardens and Homestead, Micro Homesteaders, Meecor Acres, Learning Curve Acres, and Bromark Farms. All of these channels were under 150 subscribers as of this morning. So go ahead and check all of them out. I watch all of those channels. They're all good people. I think you'll like them. But if you go over and check them out, we'd appreciate that.
Show them a little love.
And so the other thing I was going to mention is on January the 4th, January 4th is a Friday, we're going to be on Free 90 Free, which is a video series that they're doing at the VW Family Homestead. If you don't know about them, you should go check them out as well. They are in Arkansas, or Arkansas as I call it. And they will, what they're doing, they just started this a couple of weeks ago. What they're doing on Fridays is they feature a small channel, and they pick a video from that channel, and they send viewers over to figure out the answer to a trivia question that's answered in that video, and then you come back and you can enter for a free prize. I think the first week they gave out some seeds. The second week they gave out some onion sets. I think this coming, I guess the Friday that we just passed, they were giving away a cookbook from another YouTube channel, which I can't remember her name right now, but I subscribe to her channel as well. There's a lot of people that did cooking videos based off of her book. I think it was called Cozy Christmas Cooking.
Yes, okay. I could see it in my head. That's right. It's Cozy Christmas.
Yeah, so that's available on Amazon. I don't have a copy of it yet, but I have it on my want list on Amazon if I don't win it before then. And yeah, so we don't know what else they're going to be giving away, but they give away something every Friday. And the whole idea is just to support small channels. They said when they were a small channel, and they're technically still a small channel, they have a couple thousand subscribers, I believe. But when they were a very small channel, Two Family Homestead invited them on to one of their podcasts or one of their live streams. And if you don't watch Two Family Homestead, they do a live stream every week or close to every week where they feature another channel to try to give them some airtime and get them some more subscribers. So they're another good one to go watch. And basically they're just trying to pass it forward. So they opened it up to other YouTube channels, and they are currently booked out until March or April, but they're still taking names for the rest of the year, so you can go and get your channel featured if you're interested. Yeah, so I'll do another announcement to remind people sometime that week. So around or just after New Year's, I'll put up a video reminding people that we'll be on that Friday. But she's complaining about my driving.
I'm not complaining.
Right? You need to go back to driving.
I can't help G-forces.
Oh.
They exist, and I don't have control over them.
Oh.
All right. We got questions? Are we good? We sign off? What do we do?
Let's see. This Virginia Gift said, yeah, somebody said you had one of their channels, and that's why I'm here. Yay. Welcome, Virginia. Backyard gardening. How are you today? Have a great day. Let's see. Who do we have in here? Backyard gardening. Point Oak Hill Farm, which
they're also content creators.
Okay. Let's see here. Deborah E., who's been talking with us for a while. Jimmy C. He said they didn't have very many rabbits in New Hampshire. Sunshine from New York. We were talking with him a little bit. So yeah, we're not doing too bad. But I don't see any other questions. Okay. Backyard Gardening says Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas to all of you guys.
Everyone.
We have left the country and we're now on the highway of hell, Interstate 95.
I'm sure everyone's got that one highway where they live, but in Virginia, and at least in our area, like, if it's not one side, sometimes it's both. And right now, looking at the 95 south, I'm glad we're not going south because we'd be sitting like always. So hopefully it's cleared up more later when it's time to come home.
One direction's always a parking lot.
Always.
Sometimes both, but always. We got lucky today.
Well, yeah, because I think most people are completed their holiday travel, at least for the moment. So we won't be on the roads in a couple days either because we're not going anywhere.
Right.
So
staying home for Christmas. My parents left this morning. And just going to be the three of us, and then we're taking her back over to her mother's house on the afternoon, Christmas Day. So, nice and quiet. Not some dogs.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're not even seeing my dad and my gram. So, yeah. My dad and my gram live like 30 minutes from where we live, and, well, no, we might have to go over there and give the presents. Other than that, we won't be doing anything. And my dad has a crazy work schedule where he works nights. And, yeah, quiet.
Can we still be heard okay with the
background noises?
And driving at 70 miles an hour now, so I don't know what it's doing to our audio. This is the second time we've live streamed. Megan and I did it a couple of weeks ago from home on a snow day. So this is the second time we've ever live streamed. First time we've ever done it from the cell phone. First time we've ever done it from the car. Don't know if we'll do it again. I'll be watching the video after I get home tonight just to see.
First time
yes, my first live stream. The first time you did it at the house, I was at work, and if you did it at a time,
we did.
I'm always okay. So I'm always at work.
All right. Well, I guess we're ready to sign off. I have the worst singing voice on earth, and I love to sing in the car, so we're gonna let you guys go before I do that.
Open up since our audio is not bad.
Okay, good.
Not too bad.
And he's also on content creator.
Content creator.
Yep.
He says it's a little glitchy, but not bad at all. That's good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm still working. So our first live stream was done with the laptop camera, which was blurry, and anytime anybody moved, it just fell apart. So I purchased a converter, which will allow me to hook my regular camera up to my computer to turn it into a webcam. But I haven't actually taken it out of the box or played with it yet, so I don't know how long it's going to take me to figure that out. I'm technologically challenged. I can do anything with a hammer. Unfortunately, I try to do my technology with a hammer as well, and it generally doesn't work well.
You can slice an apple with a finger.
I can cut an apple in half with my finger.
That's what you guys should include in your next video or whatever you're doing.
Somebody already did a video. That's how I learned to do it.
Oh, well. Your daughter is very impressed by it, and I have got to see it, so gotta have proof of this.
It's out there on the internet.
We did it in the rabbit.
All right. Merry Christmas to all you guys. We appreciate you coming by. Go check out some of those channels if you would. We'd appreciate that. They'd appreciate that. It's pretty difficult to build subscribers. One thing we found, talking to the people on the content creators group, once your channel hits 1,000 subscribers, YouTube apparently pushes you out to a lot more people, because the people, once they hit 1,000, their growth starts to instantly take off after that point. Up until then, it's quite a slog. So if you go check these guys out, if you think the channel has any value, I think it does. Go ahead and give them a subscription if you would. We'd appreciate it. Let them know we sent you if you'd like. It's going to be later tonight, but I will be sending messages to all of them, letting them know that they were mentioned here and that they have a challenge should they choose to accept it, to do the 5 reasons video. So, but yeah, that's it.
Everyone have a great day. Be safe.
Thanks.
How do you end this?
I don't know how to end it.
I can see you.
Yeah, to push all the buttons. I can't.
No, that's not what I want.
The extra point.
Oh, hey, brilliant.
Just ignore the idiots behind the
Are
screen.
you want? Yes, I'm gonna stop shooting.